Gom Jabbar. This one kills only animals.
Are you suggesting a duke's son is an animal?
Let us say, I suggest you may be human. Your awareness may be powerful enough to control your instincts. Your instinct will be to remove your hand from the box. If you do so, you die. You will feel.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel, The Law and the Promise. And today we're going to do a There Is No Fiction because, God talks to us in our creative work when we're getting into our juju and see how God is talking to us through that creative work. And today we take on the original movie of Dune. Now, it followed the book very closely. I highly recommend reading the book and watching the movie. The book by Frank Herbert, you can get that anywhere. And it really is a great, great story. I've read the book several times and the movie several times. It has an all-star cast. And Sting plays a role in it as one of the Harkonians, and he's really great. He's really wonderful. But it's basically the story of the Christ in a man coming forward. And the part that I'm focusing on today is the box and the test he has to pass. We are asked this in the Bible by Paul. Can you pass the test? Can you pass the test of the pain and suffering of love and, keep it together? And this is what happens to Paul. He sticks his hand in there, and she's never had to apply that much pain to someone. It freaks her out. And they're starting to wonder if he's the Christ. And of course, they attack the mother, saying, how dare you think you can bring the Christ? How dare you go against your, the club she belongs to. I'm not going to name them a lot because I'll torture the pronunciations. But those of you who know the story probably know the pronunciations. It's been a while since I've watched it. But it's also... she did go against what they wanted for love. Okay. God is awareness and love in this place. So this is love telling the story. And so she's telling the story that the mother, gave her husband or her partner in this case, but it's her sovereign. She's promised to him. She's delivered to him what he wanted, and he'd always been benevolent and good to her. And so she wanted to give him this gift of love, and so she did. And this upset the order, because at this time, they knew they could determine the sex, and they were telling her, we told you to only give him girls. Don't give him boys, which is no different than, chop all the boys' heads off 2 and under in the Bible. Today, they try to do it before they hit puberty. It's the same thing. You're just doing it differently. A little more original, but it's still the same thing. Okay, so they're trying to determine if he is. They want to put him under their influence if he is, but they just can't believe that he is. In the fear that he is, the government has decided to assassinate the father after they put him in charge of the most important planet, which provides the spice of life. The spice is a drug that they take, that helps them fold, time and space and that kind of thing. They can't do it without it. You could call this DMT, or any other hallucinogenic peyote. And this is, one way of connecting that way, but you're forcing it that way. You can do it naturally. Paul, who is the son, and the family comes to Arrakis to take charge of it. And they come from a very blue and green wet planet into this dry desert of a planet. Okay, so it's really, about life is good, life is wonderful. He's learned everything he needs to learn. Now it's time to walk the road, walk with your thoughts, and so he's taken to this place. Well, he's really a virgin. So he gets, even though he's, practiced for war and all these other things, he's never really experienced it. So then this tragedy comes into his life. Their family's attacked. The father is killed. They run for their lives. The mother had gotten pregnant again, and this time it was a girl. And so she's being as strong as she can be, and they're running. And they go and live with the people who live in the desert. Sounds like Moses, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And there he is trained and taught their way. And one of the ways he recognizes is when this sisterhood came to talk to him, she used what he called the weirding voice that, he is aware of. His mother's taught him this. And that's when you're breathing through your diaphragm and speaking, with strength and authority. Only you don't really speak. Okay. And that's more powerful than words spoken. Now, so they call it the weirding way, so that when they speak, it's like a tunnel of power coming at you. Okay, the word coming at you. And it's really cool, all the special effects and stuff. It's not sophisticated like it has become, but frankly, this sophistication is boring. Okay, this stuff is fun and creative, so you can see the difference between the old one and the new one. It's very cool, but it's just too sophisticated. Okay, and they changed the story. It's like they didn't read the book. So, anyways, moving on. It's my response. So when you look at it from the point of view of the journey of man and how he comes to the law and works with the law and saves his people, okay, this story is perfect. It's the story of Moses becoming Joshua and being triumphant. Okay, he learns their ways. So he learns the weirding ways in another way, and then he makes a tool for them to all use so that they can blast their voices out and literally knock down the walls. Sounds like Joshua, doesn't it? Yeah. And there's a lot more to it. Uh, I don't want to spoil it. So, there's enough spoilers in this video as it is. Hopefully it will, uh, make you want to go watch it and go check it out. But the time comes when, he learns that they pull water out of the air. They have special suits that do that. We live in an essence, and this suit is a special suit to live in the physical world. Okay, you can't really live here like attracts like. It's made up. You're pretending. So they have their special suits. They use the spice as a hallucinogenic as well. They follow the same rules. It's only for the women, but Paul ends up taking it. Yeah. And he handles it, because if men take it, they die. This is the Ark of the Covenant, basically. Okay. It's, if you go in there, you're going to come out changed. Okay. Men will fight it a lot more than women. Women don't fight that. They, as a rule, come from divine love and identify more strongly with the love aspect. Okay. Men identify, as a rule, with the awareness, the strength, the confidence, the side. He is a perfect match of the two in one, detached from love. Okay. He is detached from it. He doesn't care. You're hurting the people. That's all that matters. I was born and raised to lead. You gave me this planet. Then you tried to take it away from me. No, it's not my planet. It's not your planet. It's their planet. And I'm going to give it back to them. Okay? And what is the one thing that would happen to do that? Take the spice away. And how are you going to do that? You make the planet green. No more. No more spice. No more worms to die and give you the spice, because the worms need the seed. And the big desert worms, one of the greatest scenes in the whole show, is this.
Only the very strong ones travel this deep.
Russell has called a big one. Again, it is the legend.
They're literally riding the dragon. They're not afraid. They know how to handle it. It's okay. It does the work. We don't have to do the work. Okay? All we have to do is climb on top. All right? Just climb on top and guide it. That's all we got to do, is hook it and guide it. Okay? That's what you're doing with yourself. And in this movie, they have mantras that they say. The fear mantra is literally, a short, sweet version of Psalm 91. Okay? it's just another way of saying it. And that's what we discover in these things. That this story over and over again is being told in different ways. You know, how the Christ who is in the people comes out. Okay, and the people are saved because they're one. They're one people. They're God's people. And they know it. All you have to do is make a statement, a clear, concise statement with confidence. For you, have God in your heart. He's there. He's in everyone because there's only one. You're just a different aspect. So make peace with your point of view. There's nothing wrong with it. You've just been seeing things incorrectly. And that's what this movie is about. You know, from the Harkonian brothers, which, you know, they're the good and the bad, and everything in between, fighting and fat and making things to make their lives more comfortable and all this other stuff. And you need to work for me and do for me, you know, and make my life comfortable. And then they cry when you say no more. I'm not doing that. The only one I love is God. Okay? I am one aspect of God. I love myself. Now, I'm great, but the Father is greater. So I'm just going to go hang with that. And this is what you see at the end, the triumphant return. Here he is, you know, and then he casts judgment, and he's fair and just, you know, Paul Atreides. And his love, the woman from the desert. Divine love. And the perfect specimen of a woman that loves, honors, admires, appreciates, and respects her partner and does not expect him to be anything more than what he is. And that's the leader of the people. So even if he's not at home a lot, she loves him and thinks well of him because he's leading the people. So I hope this helps. This one's a good one because it's the Bible and, you know, story in this new format. That's what's so wonderful about God coming out in our creative juju, because he'll give you a really great story to write down and play and act in and all this stuff. If everyone's in their juju, you know, it's a smash hit. You just can't stop it. And you know, because it was a work of love. Everyone was in their juju. So it comes out that way. And you can tell when people try to force that. It's crap. So you can see that with these two dudes. And they tried really hard, don't get me wrong. And remakes can be good, but you have to be in your juju, you know, and you have to follow where it came from, which is the Frank Herbert book. You don't change how they motivate and how they interact with each other. God wrote that story. Frank Herbert just wrote it down. Okay. We tend to give credit where it is not warranted. So I hope this helps. It's a great, great movie. I hope you'll look it up, and it's well worth, you know, a couple of bucks to rent it and watch it if it's out there. Look for that. I haven't looked, so but I bet it is. It's just a classic. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you, and thank you. Thank you for being you.
Fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I'm permitted to pass over me and through me. I must not
Feel flesh.
mind killer.
Crispy.
Fear is the death that brings total obliteration. I will face You must not fear. Fear is a little death. The pain!
Enough! No woman, child, ever withstood that much. Take your hand out of the box and look at it, young human. Do it.